As I was driving through the woods, I stumbled upon a singing tree. Oh my goodness.
Knowledge brings light. A singing tree lights your path. Come away with me on a journey of knowledge.
Let me tell you a story from the green tales of Singing Tree.
This is Africa.
Hello, children all over the world. And hello to you too, Mumbi.
Great to be here with you too, Grandma Wura. And these cookies taste yummy. Really, I also cannot wait for today's green tale. I have always wondered why we plant trees. I mean, they are pretty and all, but what do they really do?
When I was your age, I always loved to plant. And also thought that maybe I too could become a plant. So, sit tight and enjoy your cookies as Singing Tree and I take you on a journey of knowledge.
Oh, this is so cool!
This is Africa.
Once upon a time, in the village of Annam, a village known for its incredibly huge and very strong trees. These trees had been standing in Annam for many decades. Early one morning, little Akpan was headed to the farm to harvest the new season's grains. On his way to the farm, there was so much noise coming from one of the forest areas in the village. He stopped and headed in the direction from where all the noise was coming from to see what this noise was all about. On getting to the scene, he saw men and women with cutlasses, chainsaws, and bulldozers all trying to remove the huge trees that had been felled, while some others had gone farther into the village to fell more trees on various paths and compounds. There were large trucks getting these trees out of the village as people received cash payments for them. This practice happened very often in the village, and Akpan always felt uncomfortable and very sad because he felt he couldn't do anything about it, even though he wished he could. Sadly, once again, Akpan painfully watched as trees were felled in his village that morning, and then decided to head on to the farm to join his mother in harvesting her crops. That day, while Akpan worked along with his mother on the farm, his eye caught a glimpse of a glowing object on the ground. It was a glowing leaf. He almost couldn't believe what he was seeing. Quickly, he immediately stuffed it into his pocket and continued his work. After a long, hard day at the farm, when Akpan got home, he walked hurriedly to the back of his house and put the still glowing leaf on the ground, observing and questioning how this leaf glowed so brightly. He soon grew tired and stepped into his room, leaving the leaf on the ground outside. Akpan had always had trouble sleeping at night after long hours on the farm, and usually it would take him quite some time to finally fall asleep. But that night, as he waited for sleep to come his way. A calm and peaceful melody was being heard from a close distance. It was almost as though the melody was composed specially for him. It was so soothing and had a calming effect as finally he drifted to sleep. Very early the next morning, when he woke up, he couldn't explain the sudden burst of energy that seemed to surge right through him as he walked through the balcony to begin his morning chores. He saw a full-grown tree that seemed to have the figure of a woman. But immediately he dismissed the ridiculousness of his thoughts. Later that night, he again heard the same sonorous voice sing the same melody from the previous night, and before he could think any further, he drifted off to sleep. While in the market with his mother the next day, Akpan casually hummed the melody he had heard the 2 previous nights as he fell asleep. Then Asukwa, a seller from one of the neighboring villages who heard him, grabbed Akpan by the arm and asked him where he had heard the tune that he was humming. Asukwa told Akpan and his mother that the melody was many centuries old and was believed to have been sung by the guardian of nature, called the singing tree, a tree known for protecting not only nature but humanity and villages on the verge of disaster. As they headed back home that day, Akpan told his mother about the mysterious tree behind their house.
Mama, I'm very sure it's that new tree in the compound that's been singing these songs. I'm very sure of it.
When they got home, Akpan tried to get the tree to sing by shaking its branches, but nothing happened. He then pushed at its trunk. Nothing happened. By this time, Akpan's mother felt she had had enough of seeing Akpan doing all these weird things with the tree. And so she turned to leave.
Akpan, I've had enough. Let me go inside.
While Akpan, giving up, just slumped to the ground and began to hum the melody once again. But this time, he was not humming alone. There was another voice humming along with him. Akpan's mother immediately stopped in her tracks and turned around to see herself and Akpan standing right before a very beautiful lady tree with budding flowers. The tree bloomed from her branches down to her roots. She smiled very kindly and poured some seeds into Akpan's hand. Then she said,
Plant the seeds where the roots run the farthest in 2 days.
In 2 days, there was going to be a festival at the village square, with the entire village in attendance. In every African society, the village square is considered the most significant place in any village and stands as a symbol of preserving culture, disseminating information, and strengthening the beliefs of a people, and where communities are nurtured. Akpan and his mother decided that the village square was the place to plant the seeds, and this they did. On the day of the festival, there was a heavy downfall, which destroyed a lot of the houses in the village, except those around the village square, where so many trees had sprouted straight out from the earth to protect all who were present at the festival. As a result of this incident, the people of Annam learned that constantly felling their trees for money was a bad idea and exposed them to the harmful effects of erosion, flooding, and so much more. Together, they rebuilt their village as a people and planted more trees for the protection of their homes and children. The end.
This is Africa.
In today's Green Tale, we learned that something as small as planting a tree can lead to something huge. We also learned that trees have various purposes in our lives, like stopping floods. It even helps to filter the air. And guess what? It provides fresh water. That's some good water. And just like the term reforestation, which just simply means to plant back the trees, we should try our best to plant the trees that have been cut down. I'll see you in the next Green Tale. Bye-bye.
This is Africa.
This podcast series is supported by Africa No Filter in partnership with MasterCard Foundation.
Listen to the earth's cry to protect our motherland. So come with me on the journey far and wide to find the truth and set it free. With memories will light the way. True peace and harmony.